Hi everyone, welcome to our Service Tuesday.
Tuesday.
we
I was a
really
bit
have to do
slow
that
there.
every time, right?
Yeah, I was a bit slow there. I wasn't ready for the Tuesday. I forgot. But yes. Hello everyone. Hello Thomas.
Hi Shawn. Hello experts. Hello everyone. I wish you guys are doing great. Thanks for joining us here at our Expert Zone live stream Surface Tuesday. All right, this Surface Tuesday live stream is it will be an ongoing until, especially whenever we have new Surface devices, right, Shawn?
Yes.
Today, like the title says, I'm not sure it should be here. But yeah, the title says, we will be talking about the all new Surface Pro 8, right? Yep. So let's take a look at some of our chat and the comment section. All right. Then we have Jimmy. Jimmy says, "Morning, Thomas and Shawn." Hi,
Morning,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Good morning. Then we have Wilson. Wilson says hi. Scott says hi. Hi. Oh yeah, by the way, for those who don't know, it's the last day of Chinese New Year, so happy Chap Gome, Scott says. All right, so it's the last day of Chinese New Year, and I hope you guys have a great have had a great Chinese New Year. All right, or those who are not exactly celebrating, I believe you might have some holidays, right? How was your Chinese New Year holidays, Shawn?
Me, I stay at home. I stay at home. I binge watch on Netflix with my wife, and I ate a lot of food. That's all I can say. That's what I did for Chinese New Year.
I'm not sure if you noticed this. Very similarly, I've ate a lot. I actually gained some weight. It shows on my face.
I'm, I'm actually using the slim filter, so I actually look slimmer than real life here on camera.
Yeah. So Jimmy mentioned go collect orange.
Oh no, Thomas. The moment Thomas said go collect orange, looks like he has some connection problems and he's frozen now.
Missing.
Oh, Thomas.
Shawn.
Thomas, you went missing for a while. I'm
Shawn.
here. I'm here, Thomas. Can you see me?
Hello. Oh no, we are having some issues. Hey Shawn.
I see you, Thomas.
Yeah, finally. I think
Seems
we
like
have
you
had
you
some
you froze
glitch.
just now. Yeah. I'm
Oh.
looking at the live stream, seems like you the moment you say collect orange and then you froze. So I was wondering whether you really want to collect some orange momentarily.
Yeah, so actually I was asking you, Shawn, do you have any idea what's the collecting orange and the connectedness with Chap Gourmet, the last day of Chinese New Year? Do you know about it?
I want to say I know, but I don't want to, insult a lot of people by giving the wrong answer. So I suggest that you give me the answer now, lah, Thomas.
Right. Yes. Actually, in Chinese, last day of Chinese New Year, actually, a lot of single people they would probably head on over to lakes and ponds and whatnot. In the gardens, in the park or whatnot, right? So what they do is, during Chinese New Year, we have all the oranges, right? Mandarin
Mhm.
oranges. So what they do is they write the girls will write down their name, their phone number, what they like and the kind of stuff, and they throw all of those oranges in
Mhm.
the lake. And what would the guys do? The guys will be on the other end, the single guys, of course.
They will go
They
inside the
will,
lake.
they no lah, they don't jump inside lah. They will sort of picking up with some baskets or maybe some nets and all.
Mhm.
Grab end up. So it's a way to actually mingle, especially back in the days where there were no such things like Tinder and that kind of stuff.
So this is how you swipe left or swipe right. You basically go and take the orange. And
you
very
know
interesting
you,
that you
you know what
share.
you will see or not
Uh-huh.
live on scene, right? You'll be seeing people like holding the orange. This one don't want. That one don't want. This one keep. The swipe left and right.
It's very interesting because just about 2 weeks ago, someone was sharing this with me. But again, it is a unique sort of, I don't know whether it's right to say this, but it's a very unique Malaysian Chinese New Year tradition. Because in Singapore, I've not heard of this before, but I feel that we should be doing something similar. It'd be so fun to see people throwing into lakes. But we all know Singapore, they say Singapore is a fine city. So, maybe we throw orange inside, someone will come and fine you. So I suggest better not, lah. Better not throw your oranges into the lakes.
Yes. Well, if there's a possibility, if it happens in Singapore, I mean, but Shawn, you're not single, right?
No, I'm not. Well,
Yeah,
I just realized it's very interesting that it coincides with Valentine's Day. So yesterday, Valentine's Day yesterday.
Valentine's
Then
Day.
today is this Chap Gomez. So actually, you can combine both together. Wow, so cool.
Yeah, it's like a collision between Western and Chinese culture. Right. So quickly just go through some of the chat. We have Lawrence here. Hey both, good morning. We have Matthew. We have Lawrence. Lawrence saying that nice haircut, Thomas. Well, this was a pre-Chinese New Year haircut. Thank you very much, though. Right. Yep. Jimmy says no Tinder, so can go only with the traditional way. Yeah, indeed. Back in the day, those are the ways. Some of the ways people get to know their other half, their better half, through things like throwing oranges in the pond or lake. All right. Then we have Ashraf as well. Ashraf, welcome. Good morning. Morning. All right, I think so. You guys keep the comments coming in. All right, if anything we say that it resonates with you, you have something to say about what we are saying. All right, please feel free to drop them in the comment section. Lawrence is saying no funny filter today's team, eh? All right. Actually, we should. But we were actually running out of time. All right, but nevertheless, let's begin today's Service Tuesday. All right. So, Shawn, what we are going to talk about the Surface Pro 8, right? Today is actually the general availability. So Shawn has it as well. All right, Shawn, how long have you had the Surface Pro 8?
Not too long, just about a week. And I know sounds very biased, but it's definitely my favorite Surface Pro. Oh, we have both colors on show today.
Yep.
I have
so
the graphite
what
color.
I have here is platinum, and what Shawn has over there, that is actually it's a bit blurred, but you get the idea. It's called graphite. Mm-hmm. All right. So platinum and graphite. So basically, we have two kinds of finishing for the color.
Mm-hmm. And Thomas, just again, like what you're saying or what you're asking me, I've had it for a week, and I've been using it throughout that whole time. I was lucky enough to be able to go back office recently, and I was so happy to be able to carry this device because again, it's very portable. Again, we'll be sharing about this, but at the same time, right, it is pretty powerful, and I was able to do whatever I want, office work and stuff like that on this device with no problems, and I'm really loving it so far. And battery life also has been quite amazing, and I think this is a device that people have been looking for. I think I dare say on behalf of you and the people of Malaysia that everyone has been looking for this device, right? They've been asking for, hey, when is this new Pro coming? It's finally here, It's finally here today.
Yeah, indeed. We have a lot of questions on field in the market. What do you have the Surface Pro 8? Can I have a look? While we have a little trouble in terms of the demos, but right now it's available. Please recommend the Surface Pro because I really feel it's a great device, right? So yeah. So I personally have been using it for almost a week as well, slightly shy of a week. And my personal opinion of the product of the Surface Pro 8 is that if you love any Surface Pro or you have used any Surface Pro before, definitely you love it. It retains all the previous DNA of the Surface Pro, even from the first generation all the way up to the 7th generation, which was the last generation. It retains all those great stuff, but it actually improves even more in this one. So there are a lot of new stuff that we are going to be able to show you, especially today in this Service Tuesday session. where we will, go deep down into what is the Surface Pro 8. Right. So quickly, just jump here. We have Jimmy. Jimmy says, "Is the 120 hertz screen amazing?" Oh yes, of course. It goes without saying, but we have a name for the 120 hertz screen. Okay, it's not 100. It's an adaptive 120 hertz display. All right. So we'll talk about that a little more. All right. So without further ado, but this time around, we're going to do something different, slightly different. You'll hear our voice more. You'll see us become smaller, but we will be doing this. Okay. So the focus of is definitely on the device here. I hope you guys can see this. All right. All right. So is it a little blur?
It's fine. It's fine. I guess it's just a little not so smooth, but I think it's we still can see.
Can see, yeah. All right. Okay, so this is I've prepared the Surface Pro 8 on the table so that I can show you guys. So me and Shawn will actually become smaller at the side, and the focus is definitely on the Surface Pro 8. So when we first take a look at the Surface Pro 8, all right. So let me just tell you guys, this device, with the keyboard is somewhere around 1 kg. 1 kg. So I'm actually using with my holding up with just one hand, just like that. Very easy to use. And we really talk about the portability, the mobility of the Surface Pro 8. All right. So if we look around, so let me just give you guys a tour around. Okay.
Is that a
so
headphone jack? Was that a headphone
yeah,
jack I saw?
Yes, indeed. So this is a 3.5 headphone jack. All right. So 3.5 headphone jack is terrific because if you realize, right, a lot of modern device today, right, they tend to take out the 3.5 headphone jack, to save a bit of space and here and there. But at Microsoft, we actually have had some feedback that a lot of people have great headphones to go with, especially to listen music or to watch movies or whatnot, right? They have great headphones to go with, and having a 3.5 headphone jack would be terrific. All right. So when we turn around, so this is just a little showcase, Then here we have, let's see if I can do this correctly. All right. 2 USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports. All right. 2 USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports. Right. Shawn, what?
Yes.
Thunderbolt 4 ports have been quite requested, right?
Yes. A lot of people have
So
been
it has
asking. A lot
been
of people they look at our device, they're like, why got no Thunderbolt? And then they go to the next laptop, they're like, how come that laptop got Thunderbolt? How come we don't have? So people have been asking for the longest time. So this I think it's fair to say as well, this is the first Surface device to include Thunderbolt. And you know what? The thing is that a lot of people have been asking about Thunderbolt, but when you ask them what you need Thunderbolt for, they're not particularly sure what it does, right? So of course, having this, it does enhance the experience of a device. But a Thunderbolt port, basically, I think to simplify it, is that a type of USB-C or type of port which allows for more data transfer, even more power to be transferred out of this, so that it allows you to connect to things like external graphic card, and then connect to even more 4K monitors and stuff. And it really enhances this device even more. Because I know, Thomas, sorry, I know I'm talking quite long. I don't know why your hand tired, but no, right? The tablet quite light, right?
Quite light.
The thing is that, we talk about the portability of this device, right? And a lot of people take this out. But at the same time, right, this, with Thunderbolt, it can almost be seen as a desktop replacement, because you can connect peripherals via this connection. And this is what actually I'm doing quite often now that I'm using this device at home.
Another thing to add on, right? I think maybe 2 or 3 years back, back when Thunderbolt was available and it was not available in our Surface devices, right? I think Microsoft actually did a great choice, because I would say a lot of people, wow, they think like, Thunderbolt is great, but all in all, the day-to-day usage of the Thunderbolt 4 ports isn't that great. But compared to today, right, we have a lot of 4K displays. We need high-speed transfer more and more, as we have medias being very large, requiring high-speed transfer, right? So having a Thunderbolt 4 now, I think it really makes sense. It
You're
really
right. I
makes
think you're,
sense.
you're you're absolutely right. People keep asking, but like you said, many people didn't really need it, which is why it wasn't added. But yes, you're right. Now, with so much going on, so much improvements in other areas of technology, it's finally ready for the mass usage, lah.
Yep, indeed. All right. So last but not least, over here. Okay, so let's jump to the next port over here, which is the Surface Connect port. All right,
Mhm,
so many people know this port as the charging port,
mhm,
just the charging port. But guys, please remember this is called the Surface Connect port because it's not merely only for charging. All right, it's not only for charging, but it's also meant for data transfer. If you or your customer, they use what this accessories called the Surface Dock 2, okay, Surface Dock or Surface Dock 2, you're able to connect to here with the Surface Dock 2 and you connect all your external display, all your external hardware to that. And when it's connected here at the Surface Connect port, everything will be connected. All your peripherals will be connected. And in turn, turning your Surface Pro device, your Surface Pro 8 in this case, into a desktop. I think that is really, really good because, when you're on the go, you want portability. But when you're home or when you're at your workplace, you want to be able to see more, correct?
mhm.
Yep. So that is one of the reasons why we want to turn the Surface Pro into a desktop.
And we have
All
a
right.
question from Ashraf here. Can charge Surface tak Thunderbolt Port 2? Of course, boleh bro, boleh charge. That's the great thing. boleh charge. And
Testing
yes,
your bahasa Melayu.
saya boleh berbual bahasa Melayu, don't worry.
Yo,
But yes,
cantik.
just to go back to Ashraf's question, yes, you can actually, and I think that's a great thing also. Like Thomas just talking about the Surface Connect, so he was explaining how Surface Connect allows you to connect to external ports, the dock and then monitors as well, and then you realize that the Type C can do that too. So I believe that this is again really making it giving you more options as a customer, right? If you don't have something like Surface Dock, and then you can use Thunderbolt peripherals. If you don't have Thunderbolt peripherals, okay, you can use Connect Dock. So it's giving you more options. And similarly, if you want to charge via the Surface Connect, you can. But then if you want to charge by Type C as well, you can. Just make sure, I believe that you need to make sure that you charge. Ideally, it's about 65 watts Type C charger to ensure that you are charging the device properly. And just one last point on my end about charging is that for me, right, at home I use the Surface Connect charger, but when I go out, right, I don't want to carry the charger around. I actually have a USB Type C charger that I bought specifically for a lot of my pro devices. So it's a lot smaller, so it does add to that portability. And again, I really like this for Microsoft, having this flexibility to use it how you want.
Yeah. Once
Any
again, to
requirement for Type C?
reminding,
Yeah, sorry.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and anyway, to be reminding of enforcing on what Shawn just said, all the whole charging, right? On the Type C, right? It depends on the output of your charger itself. All right, you may
Mm-hmm.
connect it to the Type C, but the output, like Shawn just mentioned, right? Ideally, it should be at least 65 watts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you have over 100 watts or whatnot, the device is smart enough to know that they will stop if it's too much. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
not to worry. As long as you have charger, the charging brick, which is around 65 watts, that will be great for charging the device. All right.
And as much as we say that, I think charging via Surface Connect is still the best way first. It's
Correct.
just that for convenience, if you don't have a charger, then Type C, that's where Type C can come in.
Yeah. So yes, my hands are tired because it's not because the Surface Pro 8 is heavy. It's just that my arms were outstretched.
And also because you've been carrying too much oranges, so you need to rest your hand. Today is the last day, so you can finally rest your hands after this. No need to carry too much orange. And Cheryl is
Yes,
here finally. Hello, Cheryl.
finally.
Been
Hi,
waiting for you from
Cheryl.
just now.
Yeah, we were waiting like where's Cheryl's message? It's good.
Yeah.
It's just a hello. Yeah, finally you're here, Cheryl, and we are doing this right. So if we can see here at the back, we do have a 1080p back-facing camera. All right. which will take 1080p video. All right, remember, this video is more meant, this camera is more meant for you to help capture stuff so that you can do your notes. And in comparison, do not compare this camera with your smartphone. Not fair. Okay, we go apple with apple, oranges with oranges. All right, so at the back here, I'm not sure if you guys can see this. There's actually another mic over here. Right? I think you guys can see this. Right, so that additional mic, when you're taking videos or whatnot, it will actually use that rear mic so that, the audio captured will be clear as well. All right, so looking here, of course, we have the most ever popular on the Surface device is, of course, the kickstand. All right, so the kickstand, I think, is one of the very understated feature within the Surface Pro device, Surface Pro lineup, because a lot of people think like, oh, kickstand, it just props up the device. But because the kickstand can open up to 160 degrees, all right, so at the maximum like this, okay, if you can see on the side here, all right, so you have all this angle, but it's really, really great because a lot of people, I see a lot of RSPs, the salespeople in the outlet, they do not really highlight about this. Sometimes when we have a laptop, right, the normal laptops, the traditional clamshell laptop, right, we just open it, okay, there's a maximum that they can go about, correct? So imagine if you are standing up and your table is actually low, you need lower angle, okay, because we're on the go. Sometimes we have different kind of surfaces we put down our device on, our Surface device on. So when we have multiple angles, right, it really makes the whole experience great. Regardless whether you're standing, you're in the train, you're putting it on the airplanes, the seat tray or whatnot, you are able to use your device just well.
And Thomas, sorry, just a minor correction there. I was just confirming in the specs. The rear camera is actually 10 megapixels and capable of 4K video.
Oh, 4K.
So it's not just 1080p. You actually can go up to 4K. But what you say, right, it's not, it's still don't compare your smartphone, right? Smartphones probably, are meant for video taking and stuff. This is like for emergency. Exactly the use case scenario you say is very good. Right? A lot of students who want to take photo of the whiteboard, for like me, for example, right? I lazy write down notes. So like after my lecture last time, I'll go right in front of the whiteboard. I'm like, lecturer, wait, let me take photo. So take a video, for example, and this device is capable of that. So yeah, it's actually up to 4K. It's quite not bad. 4K.
4K is great. Yeah. Talking about that, Shawn, you being a student, right? Myself,
I was
I
a
really.
student. I was.
Sorry.
No longer a student.
Yeah.
I was a student. Already.
But you were already in the very digital age, right? When I was a student, everything was copied down on a piece of paper. Whatever the lecturer writes in front of the whiteboard and everything has to be written down manually, or if you're lazy, you sort of have to pick some of them. But today I feel if I were to have this piece of tech with me, and during that kind of scenario, what I would do, take a picture, okay, of the whiteboard, and add on a little bit about what I want to add on, maybe something that the lecturer said, right? Add on like that, it would be really, really good, so that it's easier for me to actually refresh and refer to on what the lecturer has said. So being a student, I think having such a feature is great. All right, so let's move on. All right, shall we move on, or shall we just we have Mary Chris loves anime. Hello, Mary Chris. All right, welcome to our Service Tuesday. I just have to use that opportunity to go.
You always catch me off guard. You always say, then I never say it. So I always missed out on you saying it. You need to slow down, man. You need to slow down for me.
All right. Okay. So, if you probably heard, one thing we actually mentioned about the Surface Pro 8, right, is that it is the most powerful Surface Pro. Am I right? All right, the most powerful Pro ever. All right. One of the things that we talk about that, right, before we want to go that, a lot of people, when they think about powerful device, right, so what happens is that they know that that device will become hot, especially when it push really on heavier kind of applications, okay, heavier tasks, right? So on the Surface Pro 8, right, so we actually have active cooling, all right? So just you guys just have to imagine this, all right? So the active cooling, we have all the components here behind the Surface, within the Surface Pro 8. Things will go hot, all right? The components inside will go hot, but we actually have all those copper platings within the inside, which will actually draw the heat out towards the side. And if you see closely around here at the sides, all right, we have vents. Okay, you can see that we have vents all around. All right, I need to go slow. All right, we have vents all around. All right, okay, these are the vents. Okay, so having the vents, the fan will actually blow out the heat. But when we talk about fans, right, it's a love and hate thing. Am I right, Shawn? You know that you want to keep the heat down so that the device works fine. It retains its speed that it's supposed to have. But sometimes the fan is very annoying because it is very, very loud, right? To the point you'll be like, if you have used a normal laptop or maybe an older laptop, you'll find that whenever you play games, you edit video, you render videos, you do some 3D stuff on the device, you feel like it annoys the heck out of me.
Sometimes sounds like a airplane engine, like airplane or
Yes,
take off.
indeed.
Hey, what's that sound? And then it turns out it's just your laptop fan trying to cool your device down.
Yes, indeed. So having that said, right, this with the active cooling, and this device is really whisper quiet throughout my almost entire week of usage, right? When we actually push the device using a bit of this video editing, to render some video. Whenever you render video, it actually push up the device, right? It becomes really hot, so it doesn't actually annoy me. To a point, right, I was like, hey, where's the sound? Where's the sound effect? Then when I was actively searching for the sound, listening for the sound, oh yeah, that is a little bit. So it's actually really quiet, for such a device, being very powerful as well.
And it's an underrated feature. Underrated feature to have quiet fan, because nowadays sometimes not just nowadays you may work in environments, maybe you have colleagues with you, and then suddenly your laptop just like very loud, right? It doesn't just distract you, it distracts other people near you as well. So it's good that it doesn't make that sound, so it doesn't distract you from your daily workflow.
Correct, right? So we've talked. We this time around we've just made it a little different, all right? So we mentioned, because on the external part we see the fans and everything. So therefore, I decided to just talk about a little bit about the cooling part. So let's take a look. When we turn on the right side here, there is a power button. All right, just turn it on, and we have our Windows Hello. All right, so Windows Hello to log in. I'm really sorry. Somehow the speed isn't as correct, as fast, so therefore you see that the it's a bit not very clear, but never mind, please bear with me, guys. All right, so what is great, all right, so when we open up this device, the first thing you see that the screen is terrific. So this is actually a 13-inch Pixel Sense Flow display. Okay, so if you have been following us, right, we have been calling it Pixel Sense Display, correct? So this time around, we've actually changed the name to Pixel Sense Flow. Maybe Shawn, we can take us through a little bit about the Pixel Sense Flow display.
So maybe we talk about normal Pixel Sense. Just give a quick refresher again, right? So a normal Pixel Sense display means that it has this 3:2 ratio, which is perfect for productivity when you do office work, check emails. You don't need to scroll too much. And also it has a touchscreen. So all Pixel Sense devices, they are touchscreen. But with the new device like the Pro 8, the additional flow just represents the fact that this is a 120 hertz display. So I know a lot of people, when they see this kind of 120 hertz, 144 hertz display, to them they think it's all gaming. It only benefits me when it comes to gaming, and we're here to tell you that that's not the case at all. Okay, having a high refresh rate helps with even simple things like scrolling on web pages. It is very, very, very smooth. More importantly for me, having a high refresh rate when I pair with the new Surface Slim Pen, which I believe Thomas Shaw agrees with me, it gives me such a nice, smooth experience that I just don't get on another display. I cannot go back, Thomas. I cannot go back to a non-120 Hz display, I tell you. After I use this, after I draw on it, I scroll on it, I'm like, this is what this is the best Microsoft has to offer. So again, this is what a Pixel Sense Flow display means, that 120 hertz ability.
Yeah, the 120 when we talk about 120 hertz, right, of refresh rate, there are other things, right? I believe some people don't really know about it. Having high refresh rate also means that it's easier on the eyes. All right, it's easier on the eyes. If you have heard before, if you're like me lah, old guy, I know most of
You
you are
old
not.
man, you look so young, Thomas. I would say.
I
You look
look
very
young, but I'm from the last generation. But anyway, what I wanted to say is, if you have been using CRT monitors before,
Wow.
back in the day, okay. So the monitors, right, they have lower refresh rate, and when you sit in front of the monitor for long hours, right, what you realize, you still feel your eyes will be getting tired. You start tearing up a little, especially after long hours, right? So up to today, where we have devices with 60 hertz and now 120 hertz, right, it actually makes it easier on our eyes as well, not so tiring. All right. So another thing to take note of is that the Pixel Sense Flow, the name Flow itself is actually adaptive. It represents an adaptive 120 hertz display. So what that means is, when you do not you do not require such a high refresh rate, it will actually be lower. Okay, according to what your usage. If you're doing drawing, if you are doing video rendering, if you're really scrolling across, breezing through all the menus and stuff, the user interface of Windows 11 within the Surface Pro 8, yes, it will go for the 120 hertz this refresh rate. However, because 120 hertz itself, if you keep it on all the way, it will be bad for the battery life. All right. So that's why being adaptive, it makes the Surface Pro 8 really smart. So it will give you great battery life. At the same time, it will still give you the kind of performance that you will need on device as such. All right. So what other things are we going to talk about, Shawn?
I see a relevant comment here as well. Thinner bezels now. And this is
Sad to
something that...
say, I do not have a demo of the previous generation Surface Pro. Do you happen to have one?
I think I have. Just so happened to be... Let me stretch. Let me see whether I can turn on. I can't remember whether I charged it or not. Let me see.
Because you've been enjoying the Surface Pro 8, right?
Exactly. I've been enjoying it so much that I've neglected the Pro 7. I cannot really see, unfortunately. I don't have the charger now, but yeah, not the best representation. But yes, if you look at the Pro 7, you will notice that the bezels are thicker. The thing is that I also understand, for quite a while when we launched Pro series, since like 4, 5, 6, 7, they sort of look the same, right? And some people just start to see that, hey, we need to modernize this a bit. Devices got thinner and thinner bezels. And then when we launched the Pro X, people like, wow, look at the Pro X. It looks so modern. The bezels so thin, it looks so nice. So we're very happy to say that Pro 8 now is a very similar design element as the Pro X. It's finally here. How come suddenly I start hearing music?
Yeah, I just decide to put a little background music so that it complements what we're saying.
Very zen.
All right.
I thought you tired of me talking and then you decided to play some music too.
Because we do have the subtitles are very annoying. I'm not sure which subtitles. I think this must be the closed caption within Facebook, right?
Facebook. You have to manually turn it off.
We should try and speak very proper.
No
Manglish and Singlish at all.
But anyway, must have Singlish and Manglish.
Must have. It's like sort of our identity, right?
Exactly.
All right. So yes, we need to move on. All right. So we've talked about that, right? So being the Surface Pro 8, right, being the most powerful Surface Pro, one of the key reasons is that it is built on the Intel Evo platform. All right, it's the first of its kind. Having a 2-in-1 detachable device. It is built on the Intel Evo platform. So Intel Evo platform was previously mostly you can find it where commercial devices. That's why probably you guys may not have heard it, but mostly it's on commercial devices, and that Intel being built on the Intel Evo platform, number one, it will have the latest Intel 11 Gen Intel Core processor. All right, then it will allow your device to run really smooth, like turning on the device from sleep. It takes less than 1 second. When you're drawing your lines, drawing your things, moving, doing your file transfer and everything will be so much smoother. All right. So talking about after we talk about Intel Evo platform, one thing to take note is that for the Intel Evo platform versions, right, the variants with it, right, only the 256 gigabyte of storage and the 512 gigabytes of storage that will be coming with the Intel Evo platform. If you're getting the entry level one, all right, which is the 128 gigabytes of storage, that will not come with the Intel Evo platform. So just However, from what I've read, even the 128 gigs one, even without the Intel Evo platform, it works really smooth as well.
Actually, very good point you brought out there. I've received this question. People are like, if the 128 GB version doesn't have the Intel platform certification, does it mean it's a slower device? The answer actually is no. So what I found out when I checked with Intel as well is that we are using the same processor, but the only reason why it doesn't have the Intel Evo certification is that to receive the Intel Evo badge, right, minimum is 256 GB. So
just because of that.
Yeah, to conclude, it doesn't mean when you buy 128 GB, you're getting a slower processor. When you compare specs for spec, you're actually getting a similar experience. It just so happened that 128 GB is according to Intel, it's not Evo certified unless it's 256. But still, some people, you don't want to pay too much. 128 GB is enough for you. The option is still there at least.
Correct. All right. So 11 Gen, so we've talked about the Intel Evo platform. So one thing to be reminded of also, because of the performance, we have been shouting out about the performance of the Surface Pro 8, being the most powerful Surface Pro, right? It runs on the 11 Gen Intel Core processor. It has the i3, the i5, the i7, all right? And when we are talking about the i5 and i7, all right, it comes with the Iris Xe, right? Right, the Iris Xe graphics. So one thing to take note of, right? I've also spoken to some of the trainers, the people from Intel, right? So having the Xe graphics, it will be similar to somewhat like you have an external graphic card, okay, but not the gaming kind of graphic card, all right. For example, if you are talking about NVIDIA, you probably somewhere around NVIDIA GeForce 530, okay? So it's somewhere around there. So it's just like a laptop with an external graphic card, all right? The performance will be there. But of course, we are not expecting to be like the top tier ones where you can play AAA game titles, all right? So I've actually played Dota on this device. Sorry about that, but we have to try it out, right? I've played it on medium settings. It was smooth. It was definitely smooth. All right. So not too much of games that I've tried, but just try a little bit here and there. So we can actually play a little games on this Surface Pro 8 as
integrated graphics today, not like integrated graphics last time. Last time when I went to school, whenever your device got integrated graphics, you're like, oh no, I cannot play any game on this device, confirm one. Right? But like Thomas just said, right, integrated graphics today have definitely advanced leaps and bounds, and they're capable of doing a lot more than what they used to. So like Thomas said, you play Dota. If you're still into Dota, I haven't touched Dota in a very long time, but I believe you can still play games like Fortnite on lower settings, but still capable enough. I think you can even play Counter-Strike. So I've actually played Counter-Strike on the Pro 7. So the Pro 7 can, I think the Pro 8 definitely can as well.
Even better. Plays even better. All right, let's continue. We're not far off, all right, but there are a few more things I really want to highlight, right? So when we talk about the Surface Pro 8, right? So the Surface Pro 8, what is cool, on the Surface Pro 7, we have the Surface Pen, right? The Surface Pen, where was it attached? It was attached at the side here, right? Magnetically just attached here. Okay, so the Surface Pro 7 pen, the Surface Pen itself, compared to the Surface Slim Pen within the Surface Pro 8, the new Surface Pen, do you guys know where it is kept? Anyone, can you just put it in the comment section? Let us know that if you know or not. Do you know where is the pen
right?
kept?
Must put in my pocket, right?
In my pocket.
Or
maybe like the older days, right? You put it in your, put it on your ear. Carpenter's pen. Guys, do you know where is the pen? The new pen of the Surface Pro 8. Where is it kept? We have it here. All right. Norma has the correct answer, but have to correct you here. It's not called a tag cover. It's called the Surface Signature Keyboard. All right. Okay. In the keyboard, yes. Mary says correct in the keyboard. All right. So if you guys can see here, I'm just gonna pull it down. All right. So you can actually see the pen on the pen slot on the keyboard. All right. So when we lift up the pen, you can see there are the shortcuts which appears over here. Okay. Then if I put back the pen, you can see the light. I'm sorry about the low resolution. Okay, it's actually charging wirelessly. All right, it's charging wirelessly as well. So compared to the previous generation of the Surface Pen, the Surface Pen requires this AA battery. All right, it's a quadruple A battery. It's not all that common. All right, but it's required because of the form factor of the pen. But on the Surface Slim Pen 2, all right, on the Slim Pen 2, we actually have the battery built into it and have it being charged wirelessly. All right. Cinca, I wish to sorokan my money over there. Cannot lah.
Yeah, I don't. You can put. Don't think you can even put coins there. So
if you sort of fold it into
emergency,
a long piece lah, you can keep your. But keep your Slim Pen 2 lah. Don't keep money lah.
You want to go buy your food at the mama store, and then you're like, oh, no money in my pocket. Wait, take out the Surface, take out the keyboard now. 10 ringgit down here.
Nice way to do it. All right. But I really would like to showcase the ability of the Slim Pen 2. All right. But it doesn't. I'm pretty sure it will not do it justice over a live stream as such. As soon as you guys actually have a demo unit in the outlet, or if you guys are going to the outlets which are selling Surface and there is a demo unit, please try it out. Because the first thing we mentioned about the Slim Pen 2, right, is about the haptics. Okay, we've added haptic motor, added the haptic function motor within the Slim Pen itself, so that it has a little bit of motor. But what it does is that when you actually draw on screen, right? All right. So it actually provides the feedback as such, like you're actually using an actual pen and paper. All right. So it feels there's a little tiny vibration, which, like, when you write on a piece of paper, right? There's a little tiny bit of vibration. It makes it feel just a bit even more like the real thing.
Thomas, when you say feedback, you mean when you write and then the pen will talk to you and tell you to write slower, write faster, is it? Is that what you mean when you say feedback? Oh, no.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Not
the
that kind
feedback.
Of feedback.
Not that kind of feedback. Haptic feedback, basically, it works together with the motor on the Slim Pen 2, all right, so that it gives a kind of it's like a motor, like I mentioned, right? It vibrates a little. Okay, so it allows you to feel like you're drawing or writing on an actual piece of paper on a table. All right, I would say that on a table. But most importantly, we have someone here already. Finally.
Oh, but his
juice,
he never stretched his juice. You need more O's in your hashtag, in your juice, Mavic.
Yeah.
That's not the way to put it.
Yeah, we really need you. If possible, right, on the next Surface Tuesday, we would like to invite you as a guest, right? So you can do the.
Thomas, wait, you're wrong, Thomas. When Mavic is on the stream, we are his guests. He's not a guest. We are the guests. Yeah. So when he invites us as a guest, don't forget that.
Yes, indeed. All right. Seriously, we have to keep this. We have to be more focused. I would like to show everyone the features on the Surface Slim Pen 2. We've talked about the haptics, right? let's get back to the real thing, the main event. We talk about the haptics. So another thing which is much improved, right, is actually the latency. All right, so the latency, to a lot of people will be like, especially those who are not so technical, right, they'll be like, what's with the latency? So basically when I draw, okay, it's very immediate. Okay, it's very immediate. It's like, when you're drawing with actual pen, right, when your pen tip of your actual pen touches the paper, immediately the paper becomes ink, correct? Okay, previously in our older generations of Surface Pen, or the older device, because they do not have pixel sense flow, or because they did not have the Surface Slim Pen 2, it's actually, it's, if you are actively looking for it, seeing how fast is it flowing out, you can actually see a little bit of lag. All right, so it takes a split seconds before it actually appears on screen, a split second. So if you're not looking for it, you don't really feel it. But we have improved it so on the Surface Slim Pen 2, on the Surface Pro 8, that it's immediate. I would say it's immediate. I don't see any lag at all. Would you agree with that, Shawn?
Yes, it's basically instant, and again, instant. It mimics writing like real pen paper, and that's important for people who write down notes a lot, especially people who draw and do shading as well, right? They don't like that very slight lag, even though for most normal people like us, I cannot really perceive that lag. But long story short, yes, it's a lot smoother, a lot more instant, and that's why it's such a good display for a lot of people who use the pen.
Correct. All right. So, but all in all, right, my favorite part of the Surface Slim Pen 2, of course, being the improvements and all. My really favorite part is because you can have it charged here, and it can store away. It's charged. It's there. You do not, you need not worry. When you slide it in your bag, sometimes you have other things in the bag. You probably drop your pen somewhere. All right. Having this Slim Pen 2 on the signature type cover. The signature keyboard is really, really, really good. All right. So I think the last thing that I really want to highlight about is actually these two parts. Do you guys know what I want to talk about? Shawn, we want to talk about the speakers.
I was gonna say, but you already said it. So yes, we are gonna talk about the speakers last.
Yes, the speakers. All right. So in our modern way of using devices, we do use our devices for work. We use it for our entertainment. Yes, Norma, speakers. We're really going to talk about the speakers. If you have tried, right, the older generation Surface, all right, Surface Pro, or even other devices in the market, other tablets in the market. I shall not name the brand, but you guys can try it out. But once you have a demo of the Surface Pro 8, I assure you will find that the speaker on the Surface Pro 8 will blow you away. All right, because one of the key things is that the speaker itself is actually tuned by this Dolby, and it also supports Dolby Atmos. All right, for those who don't know Dolby Atmos, right? Those who don't know Dolby Atmos, if you have a movie, if you have a film which is encoded on with Dolby Atmos, you find the whole experience of watching that movie and listening to the audio very immersive. Okay. While we're talking about this, right, I think we missed out something really, really important as well, Shawn. What's the other Dolby thing? Dolby Vision.
Dolby Vision for the screen, HDR, yeah.
Yeah. So Dolby Vision is also available on this device, because while we're talking about Dolby, I think I've missed it. I think we've missed it earlier when we're talking about the display, right? Having Dolby Vision as well, it will be, be able to watch everything so much more nicer. The color contrast of everything will be so much nicer. But please remember, right, have this feature on the Dolby Atmos as well as the Dolby Vision. It requires all the videos or the movie or the film or the short clips, right, to be encoded in Dolby Vision and or Dolby Atmos. All right, so they must be encoded that way. So you might probably ask me, where can you find videos as such, right? Okay, so those illegal one we cannot tell you lah. But if you go on any platforms, right, any platforms, video platform, video streaming platforms like Netflix, right, you'll be able to see when you're choosing the video, right, you can see Adobe Atmos logo or even Adobe Vision logo. What I recently watched was actually this documentary. I'm not sure, David Attenborough. So a documentary where they take videos. The whole documentary is about nature. You see birds, you see the sea, you hear the sound. It's so immersive, having Dolby Atmos as well as Dolby Vision, so it feels like you're in the video. So
Actually,
that is really good thing.
If you open Netflix and you just search Dolby Atmos, it actually gives you results of all the shows that have Dolby Atmos encoder inside. So it's a good way to test the audio, especially on something like the Pro 8.
Yes, indeed. But we're not going to do any tests here. Not fair. through the mic of my through my mic, not fair. You really have to experience it yourself. All right. So did we miss anything, Shawn?
I think we covered almost everything, Eddie. Maybe there's something like battery life, right? Because we talk about performance so much, but you want to ensure that you can keep up with you. So I believe this device battery life is up to 16 hours. Of course, depends on day-to-day use, how much you use, but it's still a very long-lasting battery life for a device that is this thin and portable. So again, really adds to that mobility aspect you mentioned very early on in this stream.
Yeah. All right. So before we go, let's take a look at a couple of comments. The very common problem of losing a stylus or pen, but with that you can charge and secure a pen better. I don't think you ever lose the pen if you put it inside the slot.
Unless you lose the whole keyboard, then which I think shouldn't be the case lah. Yeah, cannot say. So don't lose your whole keyboard.
If you lose the whole keyboard, likely you'll be losing the whole device as well.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
All right, then nice music needs a good speaker. Nice music indeed. All right, I especially nowadays, sometimes myself, right, if I sit down, I want to take a break. Sometimes I don't even watch anything. I just listen to music. Having the Surface Pro 8, the speakers are really, really great. I feel that, when I close my eyes and listen to music, whoa, very nice. Right? But these kind of things, like I mentioned, I can't really do the demos to you guys, show you guys. It doesn't really do it justice over a stream like here on Facebook. So please, once you get the demo, once the demo is out in outlet, you guys should really, really go test it out. All right. So we have a few final words. All right. So we have, we want you guys to head on over to expertzone.microsoft.com. We have new stories on the Surface Pro 8 if you have not done. In case you have not completed your Expert Zone, all right? In case you have Expert Zone accreditations, we have new Surface accreditations. In case you have not done it, please get it done so that you'll be equipped with all the knowledge, all the necessary things that you can have to know and know about the Surface Pro 8 if you are a customer, and if you are a retail salesperson, you would know all the knowledge so that you'll be able to explain them carefully to your customers as well. All right, so so do not forget to head on over to expertzone.microsoft.com for more learnings. All right. Right, Shawn, we have come towards the end of our stream today, so I think we should just put ourselves back on. All right, I'll just come back straight up. All right, it's been a very nice stream. We are collaborating, Shawn and me, Malaysia and Singapore. So let us know, do you like to see this kind of collaboration between both our countries? All right, I personally feel that I enjoy this a lot. All right, so let us know in the comments, okay? Mavic said the visual one.
Tuesday, finally.
Can I try and emulate Mavic?
Go ahead.
Mavic says, Surface Tuesday!
That is exactly how he wants it Done.
Yes, it's like,
And
the wrestling match, the commentator,
and
Yes,
Dom says
Dominic.
thanks for the intro, and that's what we're always so happy to do. We always want to share more products. And again, something that we mentioned at the start. If you missed it, today is basically the launch day, right? Today you can finally
Today is the GA. Yeah, the launch
you
day.
can you can see if the device is installed, you can check it out in store as well. And like Thomas said, right, we are always here. We are always happy to continue sharing live streams like this. In fact, I believe sometime next month we will have another live stream focusing on another product coming very, very, very soon, right? Which is a product that I've been using a bit recently as well, and I can't wait to talk more about it. But in the meantime, before that stream, head over to Expert Zone. Don't forget to like, subscribe to all our channels, whether you're in Singapore or Malaysia, to keep up to date with all the information. Yes.
Yes. Thanks Norma. Thanks Norma for joining. If you have gotten a lot of info, that means we're doing something right, Shawn? All right.
Yes.
So yes, once again, thanks for joining. Better together, Mavic says. Shawn, then Thomas. All right, we'll do that.
Yes.
All right. So with that, I think we've come to the end. So thank you very much, everyone. So I wish you guys safe. Stay safe, everyone, both here in Malaysia and Singapore. We know all the cases have been rising. Just stay safe. If you can, try not to travel so much, go everywhere here and there. All right. If you have to, stay safe. All right. So with that, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is Thomas signing off.
And Shawn, thank you, everyone. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.